Hey there, fellow overthinkers and pondering pals. If our brains weren't wired to think so much, we'd probably be sitting around, staring at walls, and wondering why walls exist. But alas, we think, and that's fantastic. However, overthinking. Not so much. It's like having a hamster wheel in your head, and that hamster's a deep philosopher. Let's dive into this brainy adventure on how to conquer the overthinking monster and take back control of your life. 1. Accepting lack of control. The desire for control is deeply rooted in human nature. It's evident in our daily routines, where we meticulously plan our days or weeks ahead. However, for overthinkers, this desire can expand to include external events far beyond their control. This self-imposed responsibility can become overwhelming. Consider the example of a job interview. You've done your best during the interview, but after it's over, all you can do is wait for the outcome. For overthinkers, this waiting period can be agonizing, as thoughts about their performance, how they concluded the interview, and post-interview actions race through their minds. In reality, you've done all you can, and worrying won't change the outcome. Accepting that you can't control external events serves as a mental roadblock for intrusive thoughts. One practical technique is to write down the aspects that are beyond your control and place this list somewhere visible. This visual reminder helps reinforce the idea that these aspects shouldn't occupy your thoughts. 2. Taking action to counter procrastination. Procrastination often goes hand in hand with overthinking, primarily driven by the fear of imperfection. Starting tasks can feel daunting when overthinking leads to performance anxiety. However, breaking tasks into smaller, more manageable parts can be a game changer. Let's revisit the job interview example and assume that you need to create a presentation for the potential role. The deadline is looming, and the task feels overwhelming. In this situation, focus on the smallest, most achievable part of the task. For instance, simply opening a blank presentation document, giving it a title, and saving it is a solid starting point. This action doesn't demand perfection, but it does provide a sense of accomplishment. By conquering these smaller tasks, you gradually build momentum, making it easier to tackle more substantial portions of the task. Over time, this approach can help you overcome procrastination and reduce the anxiety associated with perfectionism. 3. Discerning thoughts. Intrusive thoughts are a common occurrence for many people. They can be random, bizarre, or unsettling. The problem arises when these thoughts are given undue importance, causing them to clutter your mind and overwhelm your mental resources. Imagine a scenario where you're standing in an elevator, and a random thought urges you to press all the buttons and make a run for it. These kinds of thoughts can pop up unexpectedly, but not all of them need to be acted upon or even entertained. Recognizing that not every thought is valuable is essential. This process may initially seem like self-doubt, as you question the legitimacy of your own thoughts. To address this, work on evaluating the significance of each thought. Ask yourself, will this thought matter in 5 days? If the answer is no, it's a clear indicator that the thought isn't worth your time and energy. 4. Living in the present moment. Living in the present moment is a concept often tossed around as a self-improvement mantra. However, its benefits are profound. Overthinking tends to drain your energy by fixating on future outcomes, making it challenging to enjoy the present. To counter this, consider engaging in mindfulness exercises. One simple practice involves observing your surroundings. Notice 5 things you can see. Identify 4 things you can touch. Pay attention to 3 things you can hear. Identify 2 things you can smell. Acknowledge 1 thing you can taste. These exercises help reorient your focus to the present, liberating mental energy for self-reflection and reducing the space available for overthinking. 5. Understanding motivation. Motivation is often viewed as the energy needed to complete a task or activity. However, a deeper understanding of motivation reveals its critical role in your overall Well-being and self-relationship. Conventional wisdom suggests that motivation should precede action. For instance, you might wait for motivation to strike before tackling a task. Unfortunately, motivation doesn't always work that way. Instead, motivation often follows action. When you begin a task, even imperfectly, the sense of accomplishment can generate motivation, propelling you forward. This concept is akin to a snowball effect, where initial action builds momentum and motivation follows suit. Understanding this can empower you to let go of intrusive thoughts and unrealistic what-ifs. By simply starting, you set yourself on a path of continuous motivation. In summary, overcoming overthinking is a journey that requires both acceptance and action. Forgive yourself for not being able to control everything, and trust your decision-making in the present moment. Remember, overthinking doesn't diminish your worth as a person, it's a matter of redirecting your focus and energy to lead a more balanced and fulfilling life. Remember, we all overthink from time to time, but it's all about finding that sweet spot between contemplating and downright obsessing. So, are you an overthinker? Share your hilarious overthinking stories in the comments below. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow overthinkers, and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and remember, don't overthink it, just enjoy the ride of life.